Aristotle's political philosophy, the household and the state. Aristotle's political philosophy stems from the idea that the political community or state is a creation of nature prior to the individual who lives within it. This is shown by the fact that the individual human being is dependent on the political community for his formation and survival. Thus, the state exists not only for the continuation of life, but for the sake of the good life. Aristotle holds that the human being is a political animal due to his use of speech. While other gregarious animals have voice, which nature has fashioned to indicate pleasure and pain, the power of speech enables human beings to indicate not only this, but also what is expedient and inexpedient, and what is just and unjust. Burns, 1976, 188-189, notes that for Aristotle, the speech symbols causes are largely natural. The material cause of sound, the efficient cause of the living creatures that produce them, and the final cause of living together are all parts of human nature. However, the formal cause, the distinctive way in which symbols are organized, is conventional. This allows for a variability of constitutions and hence the establishment of good or bad laws. Thus, although the state is natural for human beings, the specific form it takes depends on the wisdom of the legislator. Though the various forms of constitution cannot be discussed here, for discussion, see Clayton, Aristotle, Politics, the purpose of the state is the good of all the citizens, Paul. 1252-3, so a city is excellent when its citizens are excellent, Paul. 1332-4. This human thriving is most possible, however, when the political community is ruled not by an individual, but by laws themselves. This is because even the best rulers are subject to thumos, which is like a wild beast, whereas law itself cannot be perverted by the passions. Thus, Aristotle likens rule of law to the rule of God and reason alone, Paul. 1287-1632. Although this is the best kind of political community, Aristotle does not say that the best life for an individual is necessarily the political life. Instead, he leaves open the possibility that the theoretical life, in which philosophy is pursued for its own sake, is the best way for a person to live. The establishment of any political community depends on the existence of the sub-political sphere of the household, the productive unit in which goods are produced for consumption. Whereas the political sphere is a sphere of freedom and action, the household consists of relations of domination, that of the master and slave, that of marriage, and that of procreation. As household management, economics is concerned primarily with structuring slave labor, that is, with organizing the instruments of production so as to make property necessary for the superior political life. Aristotle thus offers a staunch defense of the institution of slavery. Against those who claim that slavery is contrary to nature, Aristotle argues that there are natural slaves, humans who are born to be ruled by others, Paul. 1254-1317. This can be seen by analogy. The body is the natural slave of the psyche, such that a good person exerts a despotic rule over his body. In the same way, humans ought to rule over other animals, males over females, and masters over slaves, Paul. 1254-20b-25. But this is only natural when the ruling part is more noble than the part that is ruled. Thus, the enslavement of the children of conquered nobles by victors in a war is a mere convention, since the children may possess the natures of free people. For Aristotle, then, slavery is natural, and just only when it is in the interest of slave and master alike, Paul. 1255b-1315. The result of these doctrines is the view that political community is composed of unlikes. Just as a living animal is composed of psyche and body, and psyche is composed of a rational part and an appetite, so the family is composed of husband and wife, and property of master and slave. It is these relations of domination in Aristotle's view that constitute the state, holding it together and making it function, Paul. 1277-511. As noted in the biographical section, Aristotle had close ties to the expanding Macedonian Empire. Thus, his political philosophy, insofar as it is prescriptive of how a political community should be managed, might have been intended to be put into practice in the colonies established by Alexander.